New at a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now, accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
FBI, open up! Welcome to this episode of the Sonny and Staxx Show.
FBI, open up! Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. You guys are too kind. We got the best chat in the business.
Look out your window. The line goes from Florida all the way up to Connecticut. People trying to get in. They want to get into the studio. Ain't gonna happen.
You better take a number. It's like the deli in the grocery store. Take a number. What's up, man? How you been?
Hey, hanging in there. You've been a busy boy.
Yeah, things are moving along pretty good.
Salvatore.
Moving along at a good clip.
You haven't sent me any clips.
No, keep them under wraps right now.
All right.
For now. Kenneth, thank you for getting the membership. I appreciate it. Remember, there is a membership. If you guys want to get a membership, you can see exclusive content first.
Hey, Full Green.
Full Green Light. What's up?
Full Green Light.
So if you haven't seen the interview with Chris Carroll, the last person to see Tupac alive, go check it out. Part 2 will be dropping tomorrow. And if you want to see it early, you want to see it today, then join the membership and you'll be able to see it first.
Correct.
That's how that works.
That was good. That was a good interview.
Yeah, a lot of people hit me up and said they enjoyed that one. Getting a pretty overwhelming good response on it.
That's great.
So you've been pretty busy, huh?
Yeah, drawing pictures.
Yeah, you've been pumping them out left and right, I see.
Yeah, 1 an hour I've been throwing out.
1 an hour?
1 an hour.
Damn.
I'm possessed. Pedge is here. Hey, Pudge. Pedge, sorry. Pedge Tattoo.
Pedge Tattoos. We froze again. Damn it.
Yep.
Pedge Tattoos. What's good, man? So today we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things going on in the news. A couple was in their backyard with a metal detector and they found a safe with over $100,000 in it.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
No, not kidding.
Where was this?
I'm not sure exactly where it happened, but that's just a small news story. There's so much to go over. Another story that is going on right now. A juror was on a jury and they came home to $120,000 in cash in a bag.
What the fuck?
And they said, acquit the person and there'll be more to come.
They said what?
They turned in the case. They turned it in.
They turned it in. Wow.
Turned in the money. Fraud trial juror reports getting a bag of cash, $120,000 to dismiss the case. A woman dropped a bag of $120,000 in cash at her home. The fraud trial juror reports getting a bag of cash dropped at her home. Like, you can't make this up, man. Let me see where this happened.
I don't think I would have done that. I got to be honest.
It was in Texas.
Wow.
It says it was right at the end. The last words a jury heard before the deliberations. My ideal job is one. Responsibility will conduct a trial, blah, 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 blah.
Hey, Lindsay. I mean, when she turned it in, the judge didn't declare a mistrial?
I don't know. I don't know the
I'm
whole
sure.
ins and outs.
I'm sure it would have said it. Hey, Lindsay.
Probably. I can imagine they probably did.
Look at the Bronx.
I mean,
the Bronx wins the prize. He's the first one to catch it.
Shout out to the Bronx.
We did it.
Everyone
as a
in
joke.
the Bronx. I hear Donkey Boy's running his fucking running his donkey mouth again.
Donkey Boy came out.
My personal opinion is
Easy
Vodka is a shitty brand, and no one's ever gonna take that from me. And guess what? I did win the lawsuit against him. I ain't paying him shit, and I never will.
That's right.
So,
well, he's got more problems.
Yeah, he's got more problems than.
He's claiming that there's a hit out against him.
Yeah, well, it ain't from me. I don't give a shit about him.
They don't even do hits anymore.
I believe he's up to nefarious activities, though. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh my God!
And I believe they're gonna catch up to him.
That's one of my favorite words.
What?
Nefarious.
Here it is. Juror was dismissed Monday after reporting that a woman dropped a bag of $120,000 in cash at her home and offered her more money if she would vote to acquit. The 7 people charged with stealing more than $40 million from a program meant to feed children during the pandemic.
Fuck that, man. So the pandemic's over. Give me the money.
They didn't report a mistrial.
Wow.
They dismissed the juror. That's it.
So how do you know? That's a stupid move. How do you know they didn't go to another juror? They got that kind of money. How do you know they didn't go to 2 jurors, 3 jurors, knowing that one of them is going to go for it? How do you know?
You don't.
Right?
You don't know.
I got to be honest. If that happened to me, you got it.
I would probably take the cash too.
You got it.
I would turn it in with 10 grand. Be like, you believe that? They tried to bribe me with 10,000.
Put up on the screen, Sal. What Salvatore just put up.
Keep the rest, right?
Hey, Dustin.
E.G. Vodkers.
It sucks. Dominic Cicali, the sinking ship, dumpster fire, mumbling, stumbling, last place in the spelling bee, salami, Sabres champion, and Vaseline flyer.
Listen, I got no dealings with any of those people, and
Woo,
I care less about any of them. They have no relevance in my life at all.
Oh my God.
Except that I did win the case against Dominic the Donkey Cicali.
Case dismissed. Case dropped. Boom.
Case
Goodbye.
Dismissed. So that's pretty much a victory. I don't know what else you want to call it. They said they didn't want to get the money because they didn't have no money. What are they even talking about?
Yeah, supposedly they said, well, it doesn't have much for us to go after anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Thank you, because you're not taking my investors' money. And if the people out there don't understand, it was a default judgment. He didn't win shit. It was a default judgment.
Correct.
And I have my paperwork. I put in a response. So all this bullshit that people are like, they don't know what they're talking about.
I know.
And the victor is not you, Dominic the Donkey. So you want to run your mouth talking about, oh, Staxx is on drugs and this. I believe that's slander and defamation, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
I
believe it is.
What about publicly putting your address up there for everybody to see?
Yeah,
that's illegal. That's illegal.
That's major problem. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if he has some problems coming down the pipe.
Bum, ba, bum, bum.
But anyway, enough with the donkey and all the bullshit. They can just keep all that trash over there with them. And today we're going to talk about Chuck Zito versus Henry Hill.
The winner of the Zito test was the Bronx.
So a lot of craziness is going on lately. allegedly, I don't know how true this is, but Chuck Zito was put out bad by the Hells Angels.
I heard that.
Yes, that's
I
the
heard that
word on the street.
from a source.
My sources tell me. So, back in the day, shout out to, I don't know why my camera's all glitchy, but back in the day, there was an interview done with Chuck Zito on Pure, I believe it's Pure Evil MMA.
Oh,
I have a
remember that.
link. I have a link in the description of this video. If you guys want to go subscribe to his channel. Matter of fact, I'll drop a link.
Yeah, drop it in
for
the
his
chat.
channel. Yeah, I'll drop it in the chat. You guys go subscribe. I'll tell you the exact name in 1 second. Pure Evil MMA. Go subscribe to the channel. He's got some good content. I'll put the link in the chat. It's in the description of this video. And that's the first video we're going to look at today. Now, this is Chicky Chickatelli interviewing Chuck Zito. Let's get to it.
Do it.
Oh, wow. I said, Henry Till, you fat rat. Henry Hill. Oh, wow. I said, Henry Till, you fat rat motherfucker. Get the fuck away from me. I'll give you a fucking crack. So he went back to the table. Right. Now, he said something to me. I said, I'll come over and knock you the fuck out. And then I saw it on the cameras, so all the security came in. Of course. Now they came over. What's going on? I said, and meanwhile, when I'm sitting there, everybody's going up to him asking for pictures, autographs, everything. Can you imagine that? Imagine this, right? So I couldn't imagine it. He was right there. So when the security was with me, now he said something. He got, bigger balls, right? Yeah, big balls. So I ran right up to him. I said, let me tell you something. I put my finger in his face. If this was in New York, you would never leave this fucking place. Right? And with the other 10 guys there, I says, you guys want to hang out with this guy? You're all scumbags. Good for you. What right? Unbelievable. Boom, I go back. The next night, I'm at the UFC fight.
Uh-oh. Please stand by. We are experiencing technical
that's something's going on with my camera. I don't know. It's all good. I'm still here. But anyway, that's the first video with Chuck Zito. Now we're gonna hear the other side from the rat himself, Mr. Henry Hill.
In his own business, he's having a book signing. Chuck's new book is out, and he's signing. He had a couple of appearances in Vegas, and and Chuck's like a huge guy. I mean, and also he holds 12 black belts and everything. So
I ain't got no beef with this guy. Why does he got a beef with me?
No. So I guess Henry is hanging out at Chuck's book signing.
No. I was in a restaurant over there.
Oh yeah, and he's and he comes over to Chuck and Chuck's like, hey, who's this guy? And he goes, I'm Henry Hill or whatever.
Oh, Chuck knows who I am.
So he goes, you're a rat. And listen, Chuck goes to him, you're a rat. He says, a lot of my buddies died in prison because of you. And you
want to know something? Howard, let me tell you something.
Whoa.
This guy was in a one guy that I knew that deserved to go away. First of all, and you know what?
Wait a second. So Chuck said, Chuck basically said, hey, Henry, get away from me. So I guess Henry went back to a table with all his buddies and started thinking that he'd been disrespected. So Henry starts mouthing off to Chuck. Like even Chuck said to me, he says, I could break this guy in half with one hand.
Right.
He goes, what am I going to do? That's like, it would be worse than beating up a woman. He goes, the guy's like a woman. So I said,
something in line with Paulie over there from Brooklyn. And Howard, I ain't afraid of these guys, Howard. The guy's got no beef with me.
But Henry was not afraid, and and Chuck even said he's gonna have enough sense to even be afraid of him.
Right.
What's he gonna do? He would have got one shot over his eyeball out.
No, how you gonna do that, Henry? You weigh 80 pounds.
Yeah. So what do you think about all this situation? Let's talk about it for a little bit.
It's funny.
So, but Chuck Chuck was talking on the other interview. Chuck Zito was talking about it was in a stadium or something, right?
Yeah, but that video didn't look like it. It looked like it was in a back room somewhere. That looked like Chicky sitting next to him. I don't know.
It is.
Oh,
it is Chicky sitting next to him. Yeah,
okay.
it's Chicky interviewing Chuck Zito. Like, where's your brain at today, Sonny?
I didn't hear who was doing the interview.
It was Chickatelli. Yeah. That's what I said before I played the video.
All right, play it back. I want to see it.
Oh, wow. I said, Henry Till, you fat rat motherfucker, get the fuck away from me. I'll give you a fucking crack. So he went back to the table.
Right.
Now, he said something to me. I said, I'll come over and knock you the fuck out. And then I saw on the cameras, so all the security came in.
Of course.
Now they came over.
See, it sounds like he's in, I don't know. He said it's a book signing?
I don't think that's a restaurant. It could be the table set up for a book signing.
Yeah, but so how did he look up and see that it was on the cameras and all that shit? Unless he's in like an arena type setting.
Could be, sure.
I don't know.
Nicky the Bobby's here.
Let's bring it back.
Henry Hill. Oh, wow. I said, Henry Till, you fat
Hey,
rat
Nicky,
motherfucker,
what's up,
get the fuck away from me. I'll give you a fucking crack. So he went back to the table.
Right.
Now, he said something to me. I said, I'll come over and knock you the fuck out. And then I saw on the cameras, so all the security came in.
Of course.
Now they came over. What's going on? I said, and meanwhile, when I'm sitting there, everybody's going up to him asking for pictures, autographs, everything.
Can you imagine that?
Imagine this, right? So I couldn't imagine it.
I couldn't imagine.
He was right there. So when the security was with me, now he said something. He got,
of course.
bigger
Tough
balls,
guy.
right?
Yeah, big balls.
So I ran right up to him. I said, let me tell you something. I put my finger in his face. If this was in New York, you'd never leave this fucking place. Right? And with the other 10 guys there, I says, you guys want to hang out with this guy? You're all scumbags.
Good for you. What
right?
Unbelievable.
Boom, I go back. The next night, I'm at the UFC fight.
I got to get the rest of it, and we can go over it.
That'd be good. That one was better. It was freezing the last time.
Yeah, let's hear the rest of what he had to say and what Henry Hill had to say.
I don't weigh 80 pounds. I weigh 160 pounds. No, I weigh 144 and I'm gaining weight.
Yeah, and Chuck weighs about 400 pounds of pure muscle.
Oh, my
God. Yeah. Pure steroids.
Oh, stop that. You're crazy. You don't mess with that guy.
How would I never beef with this guy? Why is he going to beef with me? He wears a hard, big goddamn deal, you know?
Hey, I heard the rumor was the reason they threw you out of the Hard Rock is they found you passed out in a bathroom stall with a crack pipe.
That's what? I didn't hear the crack pipe.
Mind or what? I wouldn't smoke that garbage.
Then tell me what happened.
What?
Then tell me what happened.
Too much Jack and Coke.
So you passed out?
Were you drinking?
No.
Well, what did you do?
My business.
What did he say?
My probation officer might be listening.
He's got that weird laugh again.
I know.
But you fell asleep somewhere for some reason, right, Henry?
Yeah, I was tired.
So they threw him out.
They don't want any tired people at the Hard Rock.
Hey, Henry, this is Artie. When I saw you at the Spearmint Rhino, were you drinking?
No. Were you drinking? They wouldn't let you drink?
No, I was done drinking by that point.
That's a good party.
The one thing you remember is Henry Hill?
I do. That's the first thing I remember when I came out of my blackout.
You was in a blackout eye.
What is it, Brian?
I saw Henry Hill sleeping for about 2 hours at that slot machine. You know where you walk out where the Pink Taco is?
Yeah.
You come out, there's a slot machine before you get down to the casino area. Out cold for like 2 hours, just sleeping there, slumped over, his big ears sticking out.
In front of
everybody. People are just walking by. Is that Henry Hill? Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
You're not normal, Henry! Henry!
I had a good time then.
Henry, you're not normal, Henry! What kind of people are they, Henry?
How many people did Henry Hill cooperate against? Do you know?
No. It could have been too many. He didn't know that many people. He was a low-level fucking guy. He was never made. He was never buttoned. He was a drug addict. He happened to stumble onto something. That's all. The movie made him look like, one of the top guys in that family, but he wasn't. It
says Henry Hill was a mobster associated with the Lucchese crime family in New York City from 1955 to 1980. He was first arrested on narcotics charges and became an FBI informant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was not a non-paper associate. He was not an associate. He was nothing. He was a friend of a friend. And when he heard about, he got information from the security guard, drug addict friend of his. Then he went and talked to the Paulie, Vario, and everybody else, and said, we got something cooking here. But when you watch the movie, he was there. He set it up. He waited for the phone call. He was the only one that opened the money with Paulie and what's his name, the Irish guy.
Yeah, I don't think he was as close to them all as. I mean, that's how a lot of people do with their stories, man. They
and then they add Hollywood to it, yeah,
to make it seem like something it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it was an entertaining movie, and a lot of things were very close to it, but no.
But he got pretty popular after Goodfellas came out. He got really popular.
Well, he got popular by just going on different talk shows and everything,
Yeah.
Even before this was born.
Because back then, it was unheard of for someone to cooperate with the government and be out in public and show themselves on TV. It was unheard of.
Well, he tried the witness protection, but he couldn't do it. And even I forgot her name now, his wife. She didn't want to do it either. But they uprooted. They went out there.
Karen, right?
Karen. How could I forget that? And if you watch that movie, they were taking care of the fucking mailman when he was going to school. He didn't even know them yet. You know what I'm saying? They went and they beat up the mailman, and no more fucking things get sent to this house here, and parking cars at fucking 9 years old. Like, get the fuck out of here.
He entered the witness protection program, but was removed from the program in 1987. Hill's life story was documented in a book called Wise Guy. If you guys don't know, they're doing another movie called Wise Guy.
Really?
Yeah. It's based on that book.
Careful, Lindsay.
A lot of things were left out of that.
Well, because it was his. A lot of things were in there that didn't happen. I mean, he made it seem like he walked around and hey, Henry, how's it going? Hey. No.
It says in November 1972, Burke and Hill were arrested for beating Gasper, yeah. Gasper in Tampa, Florida.
Yep.
Allegedly, he owed a large gambling debt to their friend, union boss Cassie Rosado. And
that's a true story.
They were convicted of extortion and sentenced 10 years in the United States Penitentiary in Lewisburg. Hill was in prison with Vario, where he's serving a sentence for tax evasion, and several members of John Gotti's crew in Lewisburg. Hill met the man from Pittsburgh who taught him how to smuggle drugs into prison. While Hill was in jail, his wife Karen had an affair with Paul Vario. Tommy DeSimone attempted to Karen, and then she resisted. He beat her up. One theory is that Vario reportedly took revenge by telling the Gambino crime family that Tommy was the one who killed Made Man Billy Batts, and then turned on DeSimone. In 1978, Hill was paroled after 4 years and resumed a criminal career. He being trafficking drugs, in which Burke eventually became involved. Hill began wholesaling marijuana, cocaine, and heroin and Quaaludes based on his connections in prison. That's a lot of times what happens. You go to prison, and it's kind of like a college for criminals.
Exactly. That's what they call it. I'm going to college.
Yeah, you meet people, you're like, and all these people are talking about the different crimes that they committed. So it's kind of like you build all these connections, and you're not.
And then they can tell by looking the other
right thing. You're not thinking I'm going to do the right thing when you're sitting in there.
No, but they can tell by looking in the other guy's eyes if he's going to be into this. Then they start planning. Well, when you getting out? I got a year and a half. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look what Daniel wrote. He stole A Liar's life story. Yeah, because in the movie he was like the boss, you know, and they
Hey, they borrow stories from each other, you
from each
know?
other. Yeah.
Yeah, they just borrow stories. So it says he was involved with the Lufthansa heist. December 1978, estimated $5 million. And if you look at the Pink Panthers that stole jewelry and did heists,
Mm-hmm.
the Lufthansa heist was nothing.
Nothing. It
compared to
was
what
big at
these
the
guys-
time.
Yeah, but it was nothing compared to what these guys were doing.
Exactly.
Small peanuts, man. $5 million was nothing compared to what the Pink Panthers were. They were involved in billion-dollar heists.
Exactly.
$1 billion.
But it was such big news for New York too. Out of the airport. What the hell? Are you kidding?
Was it you that said that there was no big news stories going on at the time, and they used that as the huge news story because there was nothing major
That was
going on?
with the French Connection. Sophie, hi.
Oh, the French Connection.
Yeah, that's my father always said that. Every interview, whatever he goes, you know, there was no news that day. So if there was a big story, nobody would even known about this case. Sonny Boy, I love being called Sonny Boy. I used to hate it.
All right, so listen to this. 1980, he gets arrested on narcotics trafficking charges, becomes convicted, convinced that his former associates plan to have him killed. Vario for dealing drugs and Burke to prevent Hill for implicating him in the Lufthansa heist. Hill heard on wiretap that his associate, Angelo Seppi and Anthony Stabile, were anxious to have him killed.
Stabali?
Stabali?
Is that him? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That they were telling Burke that Hill is no good and a junkie. Burke told them not to worry about it. Hill was more convinced by surveillance tape played by federal investigators in which Burke tells Vario, we need to have Hill whacked. When Hill was finally released on bail, Burke told him that they should meet at a bar in which Hill never heard of or seen before.
He said, let's meet in a diner.
Yeah, well, this says a bar.
No, I'm saying Henry Hill said, no, I don't want to go to that bar. Let's meet at the diner.
However, Hill never met him there. Instead, they met at Burke's sweatshop with Karen, and he asked for the address in Florida where Hill was to kill Bobby Germain's son, Anthony Stabile. It says Florida where Hill was to kill Bobby Germain's son, Anthony Stabile.
Stabile.
Or Stabile, whatever the hell you say it. He knew he would be murdered if he went to Florida.
Right.
The head of the organized crime strike force arrested Hill as a material witness in the Lufthansa robbery. With one long sentence hanging over his head, he agreed to become an informant and signed an agreement with the strike force on May 27th, 1980.
Hey, Wyatt Earp. Yes.
So it says Hill testified against his former associates to avoid impending prosecution and being murdered by his crew. His testimony led to 50 convictions. Hill and his wife Karen and their two children, Greg and Gina, entered the witness protection program. In 1980, they changed their names and moved around to several undisclosed locations, including Seattle, Washington, Cincinnati, Ohio, Omaha, Nebraska, Montana.
I think Montana is the last place.
No, Kentucky. Could have been. I don't know the order.
Yeah, and he couldn't take it. He couldn't take that.
It says Burke was given 12 years in prison in 1978-79 College Point shaving scandal involving fixing college basketball games.
College games, yeah.
It says Burke died of cancer while serving a life sentence in 1996 at the age of 64. Paul Vario received 4 years for helping Hill obtain a no-show job to get him paroled from prison. What? That's crazy. Vario was later sentenced to 10 years in prison for extortion of the air freight company at JFK Airport. He died of respiratory failure in 1988 at the age of 73. While incarcerated at the FCI Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So damn, he just kept getting in trouble.
Oh, his whole life, absolutely. But you know what? Excuse me. Paul Vario was so good at what he did. The only thing they could get him on was that.
So Henry Hill changed his name to Martin Lewis in 1981. He met a woman named Sherry Anders. After a whirlwind romance, the two married in Virginia City, Nevada, despite the fact that Hill already married.
Right.
It led to a breakdown in many areas of his life. In 1987, Hill was convicted of cocaine trafficking in federal court in Seattle and expelled from the witness protection program. In 1990, his wife, Karen, divorced him after 23 years of marriage. The divorce was finalized in 2002. In August 2004, Hill was arrested in North Platte, Nebraska, at an airport after he left his luggage containing drug paraphernalia.
Right.
On September 26, 2005, he was sentenced to 180 days in prison for attempted methamphetamine possession. Hill was arrested 2 years later for probation violation on March 26, 2009. He pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanors, public intoxication. In December 14, 2009, he was arrested in Illinois for disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, in which Hill attributed to his drinking problem. Years later, after his divorce, he married Kelly Aller, and then he married Lisa Caserta, living in Malibu, California. Both appeared in several documentaries and made public appearances on the Howard Stern Show. Hill fathered 3 children during that time.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that on the Howard Stern Show. Salvatore's right there. The cop in the movie who he talks to about getting protection was the actual FBI agent in the case.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that they put some of the real people involved with the movie, right? Like how many real mob guys were involved with The Godfather?
In The Godfather?
In it, involved with it, a lot.
The only real guy that was in it was Luca Brasi.
Luca Brasi?
Lenny Montana, yeah. I used to meet Lenny every Thursday at Roosevelt Raceway out in the island and go to the races with him.
How was he as a person?
Great guy. You know,
he was a big guy, right?
Oh, he was huge.
Was he as tall as me? 7'8"?
Just a little under you. Yeah, you're 7'8".
Was he as tall as me, man? Yeah, I'm about 7'8", you know?
But yeah, you know, but inside and maybe in the wedding scene, but no, there wasn't that many involved in it. Now on the outside, Joe Colombo was involved in it, you know. And what's his name? Al Ruddy, who was the producer. I don't know if anybody watched The Offer, but if you're a fan of all this and The Godfather, you got to watch The Offer.
The Offer is a inside look at how The Godfather was made, like looking out.
Yeah,
looking
how many times it was almost stopped. And he just passed away already a couple of days ago.
Joe Colombo, what kind of dealings did he have with The Godfather?
He ended up going to see Al Ruddy a couple of times, and he wanted they wanted to stop the movie from being made. Then they got him to promise they would never use the word mafia in the movie, and Al Ruddy got that done. Then Sinatra was suing the movie because everybody knew that Johnny Fontaine was being portrayed, but it was really Frank Sinatra's story. So he wanted that out. So he set up a meeting between them, and him and Al Ruddy became very good friends. I mean, to the point where I would go there for dinner and his wife would make dinner and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And anytime there was a problem, he would step in, especially when Crazy Joe Gallo got out. Then there was a lot of problems. And then, unfortunately, then, you know, Joe Colombo, you know, at the Italian Coalition, whatever the fuck it was called, when he got shot on the stage, he was in a coma for 7 years.
So was this still in progress of being filmed when Joe Colombo got killed?
We're just we're just finished. No, actually, yes, it was still in progress. Yes, it was. It was towards the very end of filming.
And when Crazy Joe Gallo got killed, it was starting to be filmed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't involved.
That was, he went to see Al Ruddy and told him, whatever you were giving Joe Colombo, now you give to me, because he got them to turn, you know, they were against him for what he was doing. Even Carlo Gambino sat down with Colombo and said, listen, you got to stop this whole Italian thing. You're bringing too much heat on us. You know, you're holding speeches with 2, 3, 10,000 people out there. Every news person is there, and you got to stop it. And then he gave him a large envelope, and Gambino was like, all right, I got to think this over, you know. And he left with the money, and then he said, you know what, it's got to go. So they're saying.
Who do you think was behind Joe Colombo being killed?
I believe it was Gambino. Everybody wants to put it on Gallo, but it wasn't. It was.
So I got the guy who wrote the book on Joe Colombo. If you guys don't know, go check it out, Don Capria. He suspects that it had to do with the government killing him.
Really?
I asked him, I said, who do you think killed Joe Colombo? And he said he thinks that it had a lot to do with the CIA and all these other people were involved.
I could see that.
And he said that they led the investigators to who they wanted it, where they wanted it to go, the investigation, you know.
Yeah, he was killed in Umberto's. Yeah, Umberto's Clam House. Vincent's was right across the street from the Ravenite. One day we were having dinner there. Me, my father, my son. We took his friend with us. I think my son was like 11 years old. And so we're just sitting around bullshitting with the owner. We were done with our dinner, having the espresso. Dad, can we go outside? Yeah, don't go too far. And I had bought them laser pens. Did I ever tell you the story?
I think so.
So I bought Sonny and his friend Joey. I bought them laser pens. Remember they were big at the time? Till people started fucking pointing them at planes.
Putting them at planes, yeah. People were getting in trouble for that.
No, they're outside, you know. I peek out the window once in a while. I could still see them, so I was okay. And next thing you know, maybe 10, 15 minutes later, a couple of guys from across the street come over. They talk to the owner. The owner calls me and my father over, and they were shining the laser lights in the window of the Ravenite, and they were getting very upset about it.
I'm sure.
You think?
Did they come out?
Yeah. Who?
Anyone come? They came out from the Ravenite?
They came out and crossed the street and came into Vincent's where we were sitting. And like, what, you know, and then he kept looking over at us. And I remember turning to my father and going, something's up. Let me go get Sonny because they keep looking over here at you. I thought there was going to be a problem with my father. So I get up. You know, Vincent's had 2 entrances. One at the very front and one at the back. So I go out the back, call the kids in. Now they're sitting down in their booth or whatever. And then we get called to the front of Vincent's. And the owner says, look, these guys are from across the street. And somebody's been shining laser lights through their window. And they want to know if it was us. But I went, oh, shit. And my father kind of blew it, you know.
No, it was the cops.
Same thing me, Salvatore. Only sweet sauce. I couldn't take the hot stuff. But yeah, so, you know, these are little things that happen that could only happen to me.
Is Umberto still around? It is, right?
Now, Umberto's got taken over by the government for a long time. They ran it, and now it's got a different name. I mean, it's still a restaurant. It might even be a jewelry shop now, I think. But a lot of places got closed down. One of my favorite places down there was SPQR. And boom, gone. This one's gone. That one's gone. Because the city doubled and tripled their rent
I'll be back in New York City very soon, within a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna bring you guys on a tour to some different spots in the city. Maybe I'll stop by Umberto's.
Yeah. If you're hungry, go to Angelo's. Go to Angelo's down the block.
Yeah, there's a lot of places I'm gonna bring you guys. Like the last time I went, I did a live for about, I don't know, hour, 2 hours.
Did you?
Walking around the city.
It's great. It's great down there. I mean, but
Yeah,
they
people loved it.
literally used to be a 5-6 block area, which, you know, city blocks are long. Now it's like it's down to 2.5 blocks. It just the people couldn't afford it. You know,
It's shrinking.
Yeah,
It's shrinking.
Yep. They couldn't pay the rent. Stupid asses. Started all the way back with Dinkins, but whatever.
I mean,
But
times
anyway.
change. Times change a lot of things. The neighborhoods, they flip. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of changing,
changes.
Shout out to Kenneth. I have an ex Ku Klux Klan member.
What?
Who got into a fight with Geraldo on TV.
Oh, I know that guy.
Now I'm gonna bring you his story. It's pretty wild.
He got into a fight with him on the stage, if I remember right. Yeah, okay.
Busted his nose.
He broke his nose. Yep.
Yeah. Pretty wild stuff.
But he was an evil looking man. He came out in his whole garb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes, he did.
He came out and everything, the gown, the hat, and everything else. You stupid fuck.
Crazy. But he changed his whole life, gave his whole life over to God, and he's he's not about that hate anymore. So I'm gonna bring you guys that story. He's dying of cancer.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I remember on that show too, the audience yelling and screaming at him, and
yeah, remember that?
Yeah. And the table's knocking over, and he got up, and Geraldo. Every time Geraldo flexes his muscles, he gets popped. Every time.
Remember that show, Cheaters?
Oh, it's still on.
That dude got shot in the stomach on one episode.
Who guy?
Ooh, the host. Some guy whipped a gun out, shot him right in the stomach on a boat. Do you remember that episode?
On Cheaters?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it turned out he had to pay a lot of money because it was over 90% of those things were staged. Yes, I do, Wyatt. I live in North Palm Beach. They were staged.
There's a new show on the internet, and well, there's a whole bunch of them, but there's one where a guy's standing there and couples will be walking by, and he'll be like, it'll be two girlfriends or two dudes walking together, and they'll be like, "You trust your girl? Have your friend call her. Tell them you want to hang out." And they catch people.
Is that right?
Yeah, or he'll say, switch with each other's phones and go through the messages. And they usually get caught cheating. It's quite funny.
Oh, you're in trouble if you don't, and you could be in trouble if you do.
Or if you're in a relationship with someone, reach for their phone. If they're like, "Oh no,
absolutely,"
then you know something's up.
You're sitting with your girl at a restaurant. She takes her phone and puts it on the table face down. Get up. Eat like a pig and get up. Don't pay the bill and leave it there. Yeah, Wyatt, I live in North Palm Beach, Florida. Moved down here in 21.
It's starting to be hurricane season now, right?
Yep, we're in it from now until September. Actually, November. It peaks in September, but.
So this weekend I got some of the Uber Mafia series filmed.
Love that name.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. A lot of great things. I got some special guests that are going to be joining me on that show.
I hope so.
It's going to be a while until it's out, but I'm just letting you guys know how the progress is going.
Tell them while you were filming down by the water, baby, you had an audience. People were stopping, sitting down, and watching. And
yeah, it was pretty cool. It was it's finally starting to all come together. I have a bunch of projects in the works too.
Hey,
people
Steve.
are interested in watching me put together a masterpiece. You guys will see.
Why not? Why not? Indie's the way to go.
100%.
Pretty soon you're going to see these major studios going like they've been going down the tubes.
Did you ever sign up for what's that what's the major thing that you sign up for? I forget.
The what? The Screen Actors Guild?
No, what the hell's the name of that? That actors sign up for, and it's to get into a major motion picture.
Oh, backstage?
No, that's to get you a job. I'm talking about it's a union. Forgot the fucking name.
You're not talking about SAG.
SAG, yeah, SAG.
That's a Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah. Did you join up for that?
No,
Ever?
It was too much money. I had a chance when it was at the time in the 70s. It was $400 to join, and I was like, "Fuck that! It's too much money."
Now it's like $1,200.
I think it's over $2,000 now.
Yeah, you got to pay that every year, whether you get a film or not.
Fuck that shit. Oh, fuck that.
It's out of control. And then you can't do some films if you sign up for that. You can't do other films independent.
Can't do indies.
You have to stick to SAG in film. But you probably get some good roles by
agnostic,
right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you can get great roles,
but you're not guaranteed anything.
You are not.
Steve, what's going on? How are you? Agnostic. Dominic says he's going to be the victim of assassination. Hey, that's his own fault. He shouldn't have told on people.
Hey, Noam.
What,
Noam, how's this shirt? This shirt a little quieter? Always got to keep Noam happy over there across the many ponds and rivers.
Dominic wants to go on the internet and cry now. They got a hit on me.
They got a hit on me. I mean,
I don't know why. I don't know why they would do that.
You want to talk about bringing attention to yourself? That's the wrong kind of intention.
Hey, these guys do it to themselves.
Can you just see the Fed sitting around going, "What did he just say? There's a hit on him. Oh, we got to get involved in this." And then anybody that he knows, anybody that he talks to, and supposedly he said the feds came to him and told him that. Thank you, Noam. This is not as loud as the other shirt.
Yeah, so says someone put a hit on him, and then he proceeds to talk shit about people. Like,
right?
Come on, man. And he said something about he ain't sick. Well, look at this video. You tell me.
Really? And if you want to go back and forth with me, we go back and forth all day long.
Looks pretty sick in this video.
I think
call me a rat, a snitch, but you know what? I put my work in.
I put my work in. So all that gangster shit, it don't mean nothing, Dominic. Guess what? Once you cooperate, pew, you're gone.
Hey, Lewis.
No gangster, no cry. So wipe your little tears, you little punk bitch. And carry on with yourself, with your nefarious activities.
Nefarious.
He's not too fucking bright. I see that. And you weren't a captain in the mob. That was just a label that you were given to shut you the fuck up.
Yeah, the medicine he takes for his whatever really makes it even more foggier. He should say, if you feel foggy.
He called a bunch of people drug addicts. He should look in the fucking mirror, huh? Yeah.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure that's slander to go on the internet and say that about people. That's
absolutely.
Not true. Yeah, I think it is. So maybe we'll have to take legal action against Dominic the Donkey.
What? Yeah, you know what? If they want, everybody wants to do that. There's about 4 or 5 of them you could do that too.
Oh, I know.
Do your show and shut the fuck up. Stop calling people names and calling their mothers names and their family and their drug addicts and their stop. No, we don't know them. You're absolutely right.
They don't exist to me, man.
That's one thing that Mr. Staxx does not do anymore.
I don't let that negativity in my life at all. You know, I'm on a different path than all them, and I'm going to continue. And they're not going to do anything about it. They're going to watch me and keep being cheerleaders. I appreciate you, all of you.
I read that. I'm living an agnostic. He goes, if Dominic was back in New York, he couldn't get their attention if he broke their windows.
No, he wants their attention. That's why he's
Ah.
running his mouth.
Well, I think he's going to be kicked out of that stinky vodka place you talk about. You know, one guy already resigned. They're losing money. He's bringing all this bullshit attention to himself. So they're going to say, look, you got to go.
Hey, my personal opinion is it's a shitty company.
You've
But
never
I
said
encourage
that.
you, go buy the rat piss if that's what you like. Like, just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. Which you're entitled to. This is the United States of America.
Damn right. You're not going to silence me. It's not going to happen. You tried.
Or is
It didn't work.
Is it the United States of Dumerica? Dumerica.
That's what he thinks. He thinks he lives in his own world.
He
Like
does live
calls
in his
the
own
shots.
world.
People think they call the shots. You don't call nothing.
Huh.
Go call your handler and shut the fuck up. But anyway, take a look at this clip from the last interview I did, and part 2 will be out tomorrow.
Who's this?
Chris Carroll. When you first joined the force, was there any major events that happened before this major event?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is definitely the one that's going to stick around, for the rest of my life. But out here in Vegas, there's always things happening. There's a lot of, I don't want to, when I say there's a lot of crime, but then I noticed when I looked into one of the cars that had pulled up, the one with the smashed tires, there was still a guy sitting in the car. And I was like, okay, that's the guy that's going to shoot me, because I'm like, I can't see him. I can't see his hands. He could be doing anything. He could be loading up a machine gun for all I know. I'm like, that's the guy I need to concentrate on. So I pointed my gun at the car, and I'm coming up on the car and, yelling at him to show me his hands. He's not doing really anything. He's not even looking at me. But I could tell, he's still alive, and he's sitting up and he's facing forward.
Oh,
part 2 will be out tomorrow. It's really good.
Fucking teaser.
Did you watch part 1?
ALB Green. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. Shout out to LB Green. Mike, what's up?
When he first started talking, I was like, oh, wait a minute. He sounds like one of those guys, but he's not.
No, he's very intelligent.
Yeah, he is.
Tells a great story too. Another one I have coming up, if you guys believe this, is a pretty big author. Check this out.
Hey, I'm New York Times bestselling author Burl Bear, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Oh,
he's an interesting dude.
Yeah, he's got a mega career. Shout out to Burl Bear. He's a
You watch
New York
him.
Times best-selling author. He interviewed tons of killers and
Yeah.
did books on different some serial killers. He even visited some, and he tells me all about it. So that one's going to be dropping probably by the end of the week.
LB Green. Did you see? Didn't he do an interview with Dominic Stigliani, whatever the fuck his name is?
I don't know.
Did you see your friend with the badge, Mr. Michael Dowd?
I don't know. I don't watch any of these people, man. I don't deal with that guy either.
Agnostic. Stop lying. That was Sonny. Come on. I don't look like that fuck.
And another interview that's dropping, another Pee-wee episode. People really enjoy that one. People really enjoy Pee-wee's.
Pee-wee's good.
Yeah, he was just on Vlad TV.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, his episodes are dropping every day. So that one's going to be dropping. Part 8, I believe it's part 8 is going to be dropping tonight. So
he's very good.
That.
He's well-spoken, number one.
100%.
Thank you, Michael V. Dalen. He's very well-spoken, but he's very knowledgeable. You know, he just don't drop names. He drops names in the restaurants and the streets and this, and you know.
Yeah.
Like we call it receipts. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good interview.
Definitely. Go check out the interview with Pee Wee. There's 10 parts. They're about 20 minutes for each one. So
Didn't you interview him for like 3 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love your show, Sonny and Staxx. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. We love you all, man.
Yeah, if anyone wants to be a guest on the show with me and Sonny, hit us up. And if you want to be a guest on Chatting with Staxx, hit me up at Bill Staxx 2021. If you want to donate, hit up the Cash App at Chatting with Staxx. And go check out Sonny's Patreon channel. I'll drop a link in the chat.
Should I be like some other people that do this too? I'm not asking for the money. I'm demanding it. I'm here performing for you, and you better pay for it.
I'll never ask for money. That's what he said.
Oh, Salvatore, he's definitely going to address Joey. And let me tell you something. The genre, as we like to say, is going to blow up when Junior does his thing. Blow the fuck up. It's going to be unbelievable.
100%. Yeah, Junior, Gotti Jr. is going to be the fresh thing on the block to everybody. So they're going to.
They're doing it the right way. They're dropping the hints. They're teasing us. They're putting the carrot right in front of us. You know. When
there was a picture. There was a picture with Chaz Palminteri and Gotti Jr. He's going to be doing the show with Burner from the Weed Guy.
Correct.
The Weed Guy.
But it's
hey, if you guys like this content, keep chilling with us.
Please do.
We got a lot more on the way. Just getting started. So I'm going to be dropping a lot of content all week. Great things coming.
I'm going to be drawing.
He's going to be drawing all week.
This all started because I wanted to make, Mr. Cheeks used to say, Pop, could you draw me this? All right, so I did. And then I did 10, then it was 20. I'm closing in on 400 in a little over 3 weeks. I can't stop.
Didn't you even get requests for like a coloring book from people?
No, but I got an idea from a guy named Bill Staxx.
Yeah, you should offer it to people. A lot of people do that type of stuff.
That's not a bad idea. John's hardest thing to do on his podcast is keeping all the lips off his nuts. Yeah. Oh, they're gonna come out by the droves.
100%.
He wants to address. He wants to address his proffer and people that said shit about him and people that said nasty shit about him. That all comes back to Joey. It's gonna come to Joey.
Shout out to Joey Merlino. Go subscribe to the Skinny.
Take care, Salvatore. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Patreon, the Skinny with Joey Merlino and Little Snuff. We'll see what happens in the future, man. I'm just here, just along for the ride.
Yeah, especially in this case. So everybody, have a good day. We love you. You are the best chat in the business, without a doubt. Funny as shit, too.
And if you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get our videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too bad. I don't give a shit. Start your own podcast.
And remember,
don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.